ready to accept that, because not everyone can do it. So she's like, but I want my own, or like, how I can do that? That is difficult. I want a child that I feel bond with. I can't take a stranger. Anyway, I don't remember all the talk, but it's so beautiful. She kept having signs until she traveled to some place, don't remember even where, but met those special women that they sat and they prayed for her. As far as I remember the talk, she eventually got the inspiration from which place she should get the adoption from, because there is many places across the earth. Then, little by little, she asked the boy or a girl. Until one night, she knew that that would be her child. Like, she saw the child, So she went, followed that direction, got the child, and she felt it's her own. In the spiritual way, it's her own. Motherhood, pregnancy part of it, but it's not the only thing. Other people may be led differently. Not everyone has to adopt, but there is something about it that you need to share the love. You have something to give. How can I give that? That should be the question. How can I take that love? That is the question. For some, it might be to go to an orphanage and volunteer there, or become a teacher. Or maybe not at all with the children. Maybe if you go to a nursing home, you will find that, what you're looking for. In another form, we are so fixed with the pictures of the society. To be successful, to be well-being, then you have to have these things and this picture. You have to have a family, successful job, good house, this. And if you don't have one of them, you're focusing too much on that, not seeing the abundance, and there is possibilities. And maybe if you get that job or that spouse, it becomes a distraction from the spiritual path anyway, which happens. But if you follow this other inspiration, Allah will take you through a better path than you set for yourself. Like for me, I was a very shy child. Salima Al-Stein once shared that with me too. She never pictured herself to be who she is today. You all know Salima, the leader of the Farm of Peace, and doing all of these things. She was simply a nurse or something, dreaming to have the certain things. So most of us grew to think we have to have this picture. But Allah took her in a better path. He took me to a better path. I was very shy child, never imagining myself talking to people, being videotaped, and all of that. But for a certain point, when this divine light overwhelms you, it changes you, it transforms you, real transformation. It makes you forget yourself. You need to forget yourself in a higher purpose. You need to forget yourself for the goodness, for the beautiful experiences that Allah is giving you. And sometimes that comes through the hardship. This is how we awaken to the depths of life. But we close ourselves. We are so consumed in what we fear, what we don't have, what we're angry about. And those are okay, because they are nudges from Allah. Allah nudges us. Otherwise, you're a robot. You're not alive if you don't feel these emotions. Sometimes in the Sufi, not the Sufi way actually, in other type of paths, which serves a purpose, that they tell you almost like if you follow the spiritual path, you will have abundant wealth. That's why I chose this quote in the flyer. Like, come follow this spiritual path and you will have abundant wealth. Come follow this path and you will get your beloved. Come follow this path and this will happen to you. But maybe more beautiful things will happen to you if you follow the real path. It doesn't mean not to pursue these things, but to also connect to Allah deeply, to follow. For some, it is meant that they get children and spouse. For some, they might be single for a while. For some, they might lose some health for a while. For others, and because through this we can learn the depth of life again. But they always, also there is this tendency now here in America to teach you that the spiritual path is about always having this, being in the drunk play state, in La La Land, you know. And if you should feel guilty then if you having an emotion that is not totally joyful. No, these are nudges by which you can know Allah. Allah is the one who causes laughter, and He is the one who causes us to cry. Tears are sometimes good. وَإِنَّهُ هُوَ أَضْحَكَ وَأَبْكَى, Allah says in the Quran. So through those posts, we learn about life. Through this, we learn the depths of life. And when you are in this depths of life, tears and laughter come together united. How many of you, it's well known that we cry in wedding, right? Sometimes when we experience this glimpse, laughter and tears join all together. They are not different from one another. So all of these nudges, otherwise we're walking like robots. And we are so engrossed again in the world, in the pictures, that we have to have this, we have to have that, and things like that. This, when they come, alhamdulillah. It is meant to be, and it's a test too. Because as much as wealth or a spouse or a child come your way, it's a blessing, but it's also a test. It's joyful, but it's a test. On the other hand, you don't have this or that, and it's also a test. And this time we hold in patience. The Prophet ﷺ said, I marvel at the faithful believer. When they are giving a blessing, they are thankful and grateful. And so it turns to be more blessings. And when they are faced with hardship, they hold in patience and resilience. And so it's also a blessing for them. It comes to, because when you, for example, persist in being patient with something and take it to Allah and make it the catalyst, transform it to your prayer mat and just stand there with Allah with it, it can lead you to ma'rifah and to haqiqah. Haqiqah, the truly real, can lead you to al-haq, subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the divine presence. And then you become actualized. You realize the truth as is. You know the everlasting and the worthy from the perishable and passing. Then you come back and you actualize this knowledge into actions. And these actions will lead you to a marvelous life than the one you're trying to plan sometimes for yourself. From the pictures, from the pictures. That's why Sidi always said, destroy the pictures. Break the pictures. And just live life to its depths, just connect to Allah deeply. Because whatever it is, joyful or sorrowful, can lead you to Allah, can lead you to ma'rifah, to the gnosis. So take it as such. It doesn't mean if you are sick, you don't seek healing, because you can know Allah through it again. It depends how you will take it. It's a paradigm shift, rather than being attached to the doctor or to the medicine or to the healer. You know what I mean? To be attached only to Allah, and there is a liberation in that, because you're not restricted with the picture. And once you attach to something, it's gonna break for sure. You get attached to your muscle and the health. A mosquito can make you sick next day. You get attached to knowledge, can take, like whatever you get attached on it, it can go away. So because Allah wants you to be to realize your poverty, your spiritual poverty. That's why they call them الفقراء لله, the one who knows Allah, or the poor slaves of Allah, are in this spiritual poverty. It's a vulnerable place, but it is our reality. It's a vulnerable if you're only aware of it without being aware of the abundance of Allah and have Allah in your sight. And it becomes devastating when you don't have that. When you don't have Allah, the infinite, and the abundance that He has given you so far. And He will continue to. Because He doesn't cease to exist, and His qualities does not cease to manifest its traces and expressions.
Some of the ladies were talking at lunchtime, wondering if that young brother would be interested in saying a few words about his work with the refugees.
Sure, yes. Please share with us.
Put me on?
Yeah.
Well, there are a few institutions that you can help through. One of them is RST, Refugee Services of Texas. And what RST does is that it's a state organization, and that's doing all the coordination of hosting the refugees here. And they have a ton of work to do. And they're pretty much organized of how they're distributing their work. So initially they have a meeting that happens, I think, the first or the second Tuesday of the month to do an introduction to the new volunteers. I can get you if it's the first or the second.
Website and the information, yeah. You can pass it.
For new volunteers, which they typically tell them what is this about. And then on a weekly basis they will publish all the missions that they would have. And I don't know how you know this, but this was a karama probably. That the kind of missions that they publish is exactly what you've described, by the way, which is a clinic. You pick up a person.
Free clinic. Drive them.
Because they need to get their paperwork done. You drive them over to get their social security, for instance.
Simple tasks.
Yeah, you show them how to get on the bus. Things like this. Sometimes they would, like, for instance, because I have the truck, so they would ask me to move things around. So they publish the stuff, and you go on the website and you register for this task, and they send you the information. Instead, you go pick up this family, for instance, or this person from this location and drop him at that location at that time, and then bring him back on there.
From teaching English, helping them to practice English language.
Taking care of the kids while they are taking a sewing class, for instance, while the ladies are taking the sewing class. So they always have some kind of work to do. So that's RST. Another organization that we're working through is, there are a few. There is one called SARA, which is taking care of the Syrian refugees. There is another one which is Islamic Circle of North America, that is doing work in through NAMCC, which is the mosque in North Lamar, North Austin Muslim Community Center. And these guys have a program where they give away food. It's a food drive, so there is a food pantry with Texas Food Pantry. So they get supplies from Texas Food Pantry, and they distribute twice a week. Yeah. So the families would come in, either would come in or we would go and deliver if they don't have the means to come over there, because they usually wouldn't have cars or whatever.
And also what we did in Orlando, they come, they have nothing. So food, a lot of people do with food. One thing you could do is, what you call it, like shampoo, toothpaste, things like that, toilet paper, things that they will not have.
And what I found through this program, because RST has more strict rules that you should not be exchanging numbers, because these people, I mean, they have been through a lot of hardships, so they can get attached to it. So RST has rules that you don't exchange numbers, so you keep that.
They are organizing it.
Yeah, sort of distance. But through NAMCC, because especially when you're doing the food pantry, you fill in the paperwork that this is how much their income is, that's how many people are living in the household, and then you start to get to know the people a little bit. I personally found is a bit, it comes to be useful that if someone can take care of one or two families for very simple things and take him as sort of his or her mission, just even you give a very good example, which is even normalizing their life, just taking them out for a day, inviting them over for dinner or going bringing them, because they have been through a lot, just making them feel that they are normal, they can live a normal life.
They are welcomed.
Just a normal life. Just you can go out. It's not something. And there is a lot to learn, of course. I mean, because there is so many things.
One thing I noticed also that they like to cook. So you will get good food sometimes. Some of them like to cook to you as a gesture of appreciation, to share a meal with them, whatever it is. And I found that from many friends telling me they like to cook for them and things. So there is a lot of friendship that can form.
That's absolutely true. So,
but I see the point you said, which I want them to be aware of also, that to be careful, because those people might get so attached that they want to take your life over. You have to learn to also have the boundaries. And CG always taught us that. So, because they have the organization to help them, they cannot be a full burden on you, because you have a life and things to take care of too. So you have to be able to balance the giving and doing your duty to your family and job and things like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So RST is one, and IGNA, I mean, it's every other Saturday. The food pantry, we always need someone to bag and to do some paperwork when people come in. And I find that this gets you to know the people more than with RST, but RST is a lot more organized and structured, so you can sign up easily on their website and on the website that they link you to. And
have you had any contact with the Interfaith Action of Central Texas and their refugee resettlement program?
That doesn't ring a bell.
I just wondered if...
That doesn't ring a bell. One thing also, I mean, apart from giving food and all the other items, if you have any way to empower them, because what I found, which is one thing I might agree with your current president with, it's if you bring a 40 years old Afghani widow with 4 kids, none of them speak English, and put her in the middle of Texas, I'm not sure you're doing her a great favor, honestly. I mean, the integration is going to be massively difficult. So if you find any energy of you to teach English or to work with family, to give them some guidance, I mean, they don't even know what they don't know.
There are simple things. It reminds me when I first arrived to America, you feel lost. Simple things, just as doing a phone call with them to set a doctor appointment. Like, it could be very simple things that they have not yet, they feel intimidation because the language barrier, or even if they know little English, sometimes people talk so fast on phone. I remember when I first arrived, there was some phone calls I would be intimidated to do because I have to ask people to repeat. So you can help them to be on the phone with them. Not to do it totally for them because they need to learn, but to help them learn these skills. Because they have no clue how this country operates, how things operate.
That's very true. So I can send you the information about RST, or the links about RST, and I can let everyone know about the dates. This next Saturday, for instance, I think it's 11 a.m., but I can confirm the dates that we're going to do the next food distribution. We're always welcoming volunteers to help us doing the bagging and the food distribution, and then, as I said, it can create a chance to meet them, and then everyone can take it from there based on his or her own capacity. Yeah.
So I just walked in, but is it just Saturdays?
The IGNA food distribution is just Saturdays, but RST has a mission every day. There is always someone to drive somewhere every day. Literally every day they have a mission. And we always want people sometimes to be on call. And we will have all that, just be on call if you want. So RST has a mission literally every day, or a few missions every day.
Great,
Thank you.
alhamdulillah. Yes. You wanted to say something?
No, I just said alhamdulillah, thank you.
Okay.